Have you ever had a dream? I mean, a life dream. Something that lights up your soul, like a purpose or passion in life that's really important to you and would bring meaningful contribution not only to your own life, but to those of others. But somehow, you find yourself still dreaming, unable to wake up and take action on that goal. Perhaps you fear failure, or maybe your perfectionistic tendencies are holding you back, or you lack the confidence or self-belief. Does that sound like you? Well, that was me for a very long time. And so I decided to make this mini video series on the self-limiting beliefs and behaviors that hold us back from pursuing our true passion and purpose in life. And this video is the introductory video to that series, where I'll share with you the context and the background of how I got to this point and how I've learned to manage or overcome some of these self-limiting beliefs and behaviors. My story begins in 2021 when I graduated with my master's degree in psychology, and I was at the pinnacle of realizing one of my lifelong dreams of becoming a therapist, but instead I realized that I no longer wanted to be a therapist. This realization really knocked me off my feet. I became depressed. I lost all motivation. I told myself that I no longer wanted to open another book, that I no longer wanted to have another goal, that I no longer wanted to dream, that I just wanted to exist and not think about any of those things. And for about 2 or 3 years, I was stuck in this place of misery and unhappiness because I was purposefully pushing down any form of inspiration that would come up. I was pushing down things that were calling me, that were calling for me to be explored. At some point, I had to sit myself down and really get honest with myself. I pulled out my journal and I basically had like a one-on-one therapy session with myself. I was the therapist asking the questions, and I was the client answering those questions. And one of the first questions that I asked myself was, what is really going on with you, girl? Like, what is going on? What is happening? Why? What are you doing? Why do you feel this way? Why have you lost all motivation? Because I was a very goal-oriented person. I always had a vision. I always had a goal. I was always working towards something, daily to-do lists, long-term goals, short-term goals. I was driven. And to go from that to nothing was kind of shocking to me. So I sat down and I asked myself, what is going on? And the answer came back. I don't want to put any effort in. So I asked back, but why? You put effort into so many things. And the answer came back, because I'm afraid to fail. Wow. That hit me. It meant that I felt like a failure for putting all that effort into achieving 3 degrees in psychology, putting all that hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, thousands of dollars, only to realize at the end that I didn't want to become a therapist anymore. So it meant that I now didn't want to put the same amount of effort into trying something new, in the event that I would reach the end of that effort and just realize the same thing, that I didn't want to do whatever I was putting effort into. That was a scary thought to me. It felt like a futile, pointless process, just throwing in effort and money and time and energy into something, and only to give it up at the end. And it's like this realization was hidden to my subconscious. So I didn't even have the opportunity to contest, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't have the opportunity to argue or debate that point. And so now that it was brought to my consciousness, I was saying, but hey, this was not a futile process. Yes, you didn't end up being a therapist at the end of this journey, but you gained so many other things. I mean, I gained so many things from this journey of studying psychology. To name a few: discipline, critical thinking, which I was lacking in a lot. Because I come from a background of religious behavior where you are taught not to question things. So that was an important skill for me. Discipline, I was lacking. Presenting skills. I was extremely self-conscious and had a fear of public speaking. And I turned down many public speaking opportunities because of those fears. And with doing my master's program, we were forced to present in front of people. And so I had to master that skill, and I found out that I actually enjoyed it. I really thoroughly enjoyed presenting. So, those are just some of the things that I gained from this process. So it was not futile, even though my brain was telling me what you did was pointless and you wasted so much because you didn't become a therapist. You didn't get the end goal. But I didn't waste so much. I gained so much. I gained a lot. So it helped to kind of like reframe that belief for myself. To come to that realization after 3 years of feeling stuck and miserable, it felt so good. It felt so light and so liberating that I thought, well, if I am here in front of this journal, being open with myself, I might as well lay out all the self-limiting beliefs and behaviors that are stopping me from pursuing and jumping into my next project. Because I knew that my next project was YouTube. It has always been YouTube. If you watch my introductory video, which I will post a link to here and in the description, if you watch that video, you will learn that I avoided doing what I really wanted to do for 12 years. I started a YouTube channel in 2012. Actually, I might, I'm gonna post, or I'll put on the screen a clip of that video so you can see that I'm not talking crap. I'm not lying. I started a YouTube channel, and because of my limiting beliefs of, self-consciousness, low confidence, things like that, I was stuck and I couldn't pursue it. So it's always been YouTube. And YouTube, this desire to share my experiences with people and to inspire people has always been there, and it was calling me now more than ever. But I was pushing it down. I was praying, leave me alone, stop calling me, because I tried so many times to not tried. I recorded plenty of videos. One time I was scrolling through my phone and I realized that, wow, I've recorded so many videos. Just like these, I've recorded tons of videos constantly. Every month, I just saw more and more videos, but I wasn't posting them. I was scripting videos. I did everything that a YouTuber does besides posting a video because of all these things in my mind that was stopping me. So I took this opportunity while I was in front of my journal, being honest with myself, to list down all the limiting beliefs that were holding me back from pursuing this next project. So yes, there was fear of failure, but there was also perfectionism, procrastination, lack of confidence, poor self-image, lack of self-belief, and a whole host of other things. So I listed all those things, and then I didn't just leave it there. I wanted to know why I was feeling those ways. Like, why was I afraid of failure? Why was I a perfectionist? Why do I have low self-confidence? And so I started digging deeper into each topic. Well, first, let me tell you, I was able to group, I noticed a pattern, and I was able to group and cluster certain things together, like low confidence, lack of self-worth, self-consciousness, low self-image. Those were things that I could fit under one umbrella and group them together. And I could group perfectionism and procrastination together because I saw how they fit together. And fear of failure or fear of success or fear of rejection, I could group that together. And so I grouped all these things together, and then I drew a table. And at the top of the table, the headings at the top, were all these grouped items, which I just labeled like fear of failure, perfectionism, low self-confidence, things like that. And under the table, I took each one and I dug down deep into why I feel that way. And the question I asked was, what does it mean if, so for fear of failure, what does it mean if you fail? What is, like, it's similar to the question of what is the worst thing that could happen? But I was just saying, what does it mean? What do you make it mean if you fail? What does it mean? Oh, it means that I'm proving that I am worthless. So I'm proving that, I wasn't good enough to begin with. Or, okay, so then I would get my answer, and then I would repeat the question for that answer. So what does it mean if you prove that this is true about yourself? And then I would get an answer, and I would repeat that question down the table. And I did this for each group of limiting belief. And let me tell you what I found. I found the same answer when I could no longer ask the question, when there was no answer underneath that. When I got to the root cause of the issue, for each self-limiting belief, the answer was the same. I'm sure you're guessing what that is, and maybe you've guessed it already, because this is not something new. This is something that thousands of people have discovered, that many a guru has spoken about, that many a psychologist, life coach, etc. has spoken about. It's not new. But to go through that process and discover it for myself, like in my own experience, was something. And I want to share that with you. And that's why I'm making this video series. So if you want to go on this journey with me, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you can get to the next video. And maybe you already guessed what it is. I'm sure it's not that hard to guess what that self-limiting belief, the main one, is. And if you have, great. And if you know how to manage it and overcome it, good for you. But if you don't and you want to follow along, join me. Let's explore this. I'm so excited. I'm like really excited about this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. And yes, I can't wait to see you on the next video. So ciao for now.